Hey guys, so today we're gonna make your own Captain America shield. So for last year's New York Comic Con, I went as Captain America and I just had to make this kind of shield because I love this one. So I'm gonna run through how to make this, but first, we're gonna go through all the supplies and equipment you may need. So you got all your equipment and supplies you need to make this shield, so let's go right into the process on how to make it exactly. Like with any cosplay you're working on, the first thing you gotta do is find a template. And where do you go to find templates? You go on Google, and what I did for this one is I searched Captain America shield template, and I found one as the old one, and they got the round one too. And you resize that image to be as big as you could fit it on that acrylic sheet that you're gonna buy. And the acrylic sheet that you buy is an 18 by 24, so mine was roughly 17 and a quarter, almost by 22 and a half to fit on that acrylic sheet. So you print out the template for that size, you tape it all together, and then you cut it out. So now you got the cutout of the shield, what you gotta do is tape it to the acrylic sheet and trace it out with a Sharpie marker. So you got your traced outline on the acrylic sheet. The next thing you gotta do is cut it with the jigsaw. So you gotta take the Jigsaw Blades that you purchased, maybe, or had around. I got the ones for plexiglass, because plexiglass and the acrylic sheet are really the same thing. So I put the plexiglass blade into the jigsaw and I cut the outline on the acrylic sheet. So you got your shield, but it's looking flat. What you gotta do is round it out. And to do that, you gotta use a heat gun. So you heat up the center and a little bit towards the sides, and you put it over something that's round, like maybe a folded up rug or a sleeping bag, and you hold it down till it cools down to retain that shape. You might have to do this a couple of times. It didn't really work for me, but you're gonna have to be creative on what you're gonna put it on to round it out. The next step you could do before you round out the shield, but I kinda did it afterwards, is I took a 1000 grit sandpaper and I smoothed out the edges. Next is the super fun part, like I say in every cosplay tutorial I've done so far. It's spray painting, or just painting. But this one is spray painting. So when you spray paint, you gotta make sure you have 3 things. These are the 3 most important things. You gotta have your respirator mask so that you don't breathe in the toxins, some working goggles so you don't accidentally get the paint on your eyes, because that could be pretty bad, and gardening gloves so you don't stain your hands with the paint, which happened a ton of times, and it takes so long to get that spray paint off your hands. Since the acrylic sheet was clear, I thought it'd be easier to paint it all white, and I even painted the back white. You could paint it whatever color you want that matches your cosplay, or you could match it to the movie, which I think might be a goldish color. The next thing I did was decide where I wanted the blue top part to start, and I taped it off with the paint masking tape right across the shield to separate the blue section from the stripe section. After that, I measured out where my red stripes would evenly be and covered the white stripes with the masking tape. After covering up all the white and blue sections, I spray painted the shield red for those red stripes and let it dry for an hour or so. Then I took off the tape for the stripes slowly because the paint does peel and it kind of bleeds into it. You gotta be careful, and I do have to figure out a way to prevent that, and when I do, I will definitely let you guys know. For the 3 stars on the top of the shield, I googled another template, searching Captain America stars, and resized them based on how they fit on my size shield. Not sure how big your shield's gonna be, but sometimes you just gotta wing it. So I cut those stars out, and once I was satisfied with the spacing on my shield, I used paint masking tape to tape them in place on the shield, and then I put tape over them. The reason for this is because when you spray paint the blue, you want to keep those stars white. Then I cut some plastic bags in half and cover the stripe section. So then I sprayed that section blue and let it dry for another hour or so. So now the spray painting's all done, make sure to carefully take off all the masking tape and plastic bags, because remember, you don't want that paint to peel or bleed into each other. After you paint, you gotta seal the paint in some way, and I used a clear coat spray. I kinda didn't use the right one, so mine peeled off in the middle of Comic-Con, but that's okay. You're gonna learn from my mistake and find a clear coat that matches the spray paint that you used, and that should seal the paint, and you should be good to go. So it's kind of a last minute project to make this shield for myself for Comic-Con, so I didn't really have a clear-cut plan on how to do these straps in the back of the shield. So I had a couple of buckles on me, I had some straps, and I had some 5-minute instant mix epoxy and tried to glue it onto the back of this acrylic sheet. Fortunately, the epoxy didn't hold like I thought it would, and it fell apart in the middle of Comic-Con, and I had to hold the shield in my hands instead for pictures and all that. So I recommend figuring out your own creative way to put this strap on, but maybe you guys have a better idea. I totally am open for suggestions. I kinda have an idea of what I should have done, but I guess based on your own budget and time, you'll figure out what you want to do for this part. So you're on your way to making your own Captain America shields. I hope this tutorial helped, and stay tuned for our next cosplay how-to, or whatever how-to we're coming out with next.